Welcome back, PES fans, to a long-requested tournament campaign of the Champions League 06-07, courtesy of Pro Evolution Soccer 6. The groups and the rules are listed as below. And finally, a special thank you to Fabry55 for compiling a love letter of a patch on PES 6, and of course Benicio for the HD scoreboards he has exclusively provided us for this Champions League challenge. And one more thing, please like and subscribe before we embark on another round of legendary European nights in the Champions League. The champions of Spain, the champions of Europe, Barcelona, the current holders of the UEFA Champions League, famously called the curtain on the last tournament in Paris. Tonight, they raise it against the Bulgarian underdogs, Levski Sofia. Here we go! Champions League 2006-2007 is underway. Petkov stops the punt of Deco. First attack of Levski Sofia as Vanya is looking for the target, but it's intercepted. Here's Yovov, swarmed by blue and red shirts, but Angelov has kept it alive. Yovov, Jayeva. Oh, he's continued on, and he's won himself a corner. First corner of the game to Levski Sofia, and Jayeva is a stubborn glove away from writing himself into European folklore. Victor Valdez has to dig down so deep to stop that one short. Samuel Eto'o is about to educate Levski Sofia on his pace. However, Petkov counters with a point-blank save. Xavi into the feet of Eto'o. That's played on to Lionel Messi. Messi lets himself down by failing to keep it down. And Jayeba is broken away, and Valdez has come out into no man's land. Van Bronckhorst has overlapped Ronaldinho, who has found Lionel Messi, who's unmarked. An unforgivable misser of a sitter. Ronaldinho's cross is Iniesta on the volley. Barcelona have one more break at the end of the first half, and Lionel Messi has taken it too early, but thankfully Ronaldinho pounces on the rebound like a Brazilian panther. You can't ask for more than the former World Player of the Year to score the opening goal of the new Champions League. Good Johnson gives and goes to Deco. It's still good Johnson. Oh, and he slotted it under the armpit of Bulgaria's #1 goalkeeper, Idiga Johnson, who reminds Chelsea what they are missing when they inevitably become reacquainted at the end of the group stage. Ronaldinho showing the composure to calmly circle the defender, slide tackle, and gifts a goal to Lionel Messi. Barcelona's present, passing the torch to Barcelona's future. Julie, Deco, Good Johnson. The first shot didn't go smoothly, but it's Icelandic improvisation. It's a brace from the former Chelsea fan favourite, Idiga Johnson. We are deep into stoppage time as Ronaldinho is well away from every yellow shirt in the stadium. A trio of goals, a final 10 minutes of torture for Levski Sofia, and Barcelona bury Bulgaria in Catalonia. 4 goals in the final 10 minutes results in an emphatic victory for the European champions, Barcelona. Jose Mourinho did it before with Porto 3 years ago. And Chelsea have reached the semi-finals twice in the last 3 years. Werder Bremen, one of the most cantankerous teams in the Bundesliga. Bremen brimming with talent capable of being their very own version of Porto in the Champions League. Frank Lampard runs up, but it doesn't come down quick enough. First corner of the game to Werder Bremen, and it is a goal! It's the lanky Tim Borowski. And that will acquire you a portion of stunned silence at Stamford Bridge. Just over 5 minutes on the clock. Frings down the wings, seeking out Miroslav Klose. Great catch from Petr Cech. Lampard for Chelsea's first corner. It's swung in and there is Drogba! Like a typical dog chasing after a ball, the drogmatic Ivorian King has equalised for Chelsea. Just shy of the 30-minute mark in the game. Ferreira's throw. Drogba. Ballack. Essien. Lampard in the middle. Oh, and the scoreline has rotated in the favour of the hosts. Frank Lampard slams hard against the crossbar. And now there's an uneasy feeling in the hearts of the travelling Werder Bremen diehards. Here is Frings, opens fire on Cech, and it's another great catch out of the sky. Borowski squeezes it through to Baumann. Baumann opens fire, and it's a spill from Cech. And it's whipped into the roof of the net by Miroslav Klose. Klose the poacher. From such a tight angle. Slamming on the brakes on the flank is back to Ferreira for a supportive cross looking for Drogba. No sight of a second goal for him. Ashley Cole forfeits it to Borowski. Now here is Klose. Down the middle to Hunt. It's still Hunt! Saved by Cech, and again it's Miroslav Klose to haunt Chelsea on the follow-up. Solto Klose spawning in the most opportunistic of positions in the penalty area. A tap-in would suffice, but no. The lowest header for audacity. Essien keeps the loose ball alive. Drogba back to Shevchenko. He's found some space in the middle. And Chelsea have levelled it again. And it is the European legend, Andrei Shevchenko. A master of Milan. Marks out a spot on the centre of the goal net. Hunt is drifting into the centre and he's wiped out by John Terry. Stays down, clutching his knee. Never looks good, and Borowski's coming over. Woe made to be a hero for Werder Bremen. A thrilling 3-3 draw at Stamford Bridge. Werder Bremen sending a message they are not to be underestimated. One half of Seabass's favourite city, Internazionale, aka Inter Milan. Arguably the underachievers of European football, with all their talent in the world in that black and blue squad. They host Russian representatives Spartak Moscow. Cambiasso links up with Dejan Stankovic. The Serbian opens fire. Oh, that nearly bobbled its way inside the post. Vieira back to Crespo. Here is Luis Figo. Here is Kalinashenko. Pavlyuchenko stands his ground against Cordoba. It's still Andrei Pavlyuchenko. Was a very good stop at the near post from Cesar. Here's Figo. Finds his way to Ibrahimovic. Rattles the crossbar. It won't stop shaking. Titov. We are approaching the hour mark. Cleared away by Cordoba. is hurled back in by Werder. Inter Milan are traumatized by this bombshell dropped by the Kremlin in Lombardy. Denis Boyarintsev has just awarded the visitors the most unlikely of leads against Internazionale. This is one of those wishful hits. With the wind and the sails underneath it, it gushes over the head of Julio Cesar. He is stranded like an orphan in a hurricane. Kalinichenko's corner! And that is one that startles everybody from Titov. Cleared off the line by Maicon. Cambiasso, Ibrahimovic, Rakoba couldn't keep it down. It was Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he goes down, and it is the goalscorer, Boyarintsev. Rakoba has the unwanted task of trying to convert a close-range free kick. A shocking victory for Spartak Moscow. The underachievers fail once again to achieve. The 2001 Champions League winners host one of the big three of Portugal. It is Bayern Munich taking on Sporting Lisbon in the brand spanking new Allianz Arena, of which the national team of Portugal squandered their World Cup semi-final in earlier this year. Custodio has just done the honours of knocking it down to Nani. Still going, Nani! From an impossible angle! The unflappable gymnastics follow! Nani has asked nothing of Oliver Kahn, but has walked away with two handfuls of questions asked of the German legend. How did neither of those hands stop this strike? Romagnoli is Sporting Lisbon keep coming. And the possession reversed by Hargreaves. Van Bommel. Salihamidzic down the line to Claudio Pizarro. Tucks it back to Van Bommel, who knocks it into an empty net, and it's game on here in the Allianz Arena. Mark Van Bommel, who has arrived in Bavaria as a champion of Europe, carrying his gold winners medal from Barcelona, courtesy of the final in Paris. Liedzen, Veloso, Nani. Sporting Lisbon's goal scorer, it's Nani, and again it's again! He humiliates Oliver Kahn at the near post, and this time it's resulted in a catastrophic spill right in the face of Miguel Veloso. Sporting have come here to play. Van Bommel. Mackay goes to Schweinsteiger on the outside. It's still Schweinsteiger, marauding his way closer and closer to Sporting's penalty area! And Claudio Pizarro earns his goal, thumping it out of the reach of Ricardo. What a time to hit the reset button just before halftime. Schweinsteiger, that's onto Mackay. And here is Pizarro with a one-on-one opportunity, but he smashes it at Ricardo. Here's Nani again, finding himself on that far side, but this time he fails to hit the target. Mackay into the centre towards Pizarro, and that is a stunning save from Ricardo. Mackay gets his intentions read by Polga. Santa Cruz has pulled Ricardo out of position, allowing for Van Bommel to slot it into an open goal for his second of the game, and Bayern Munich finally take the lead for the first time tonight. What a fashionable finish from Van Bommel as well. You can't even try to make that a tighter fit. A chance to kill the game for Mackay, and he fails. Bayern Munich will take the 3 goals and the 3 points at the expense of Sporting. (2006) was a gap year for the heroes of Istanbul. Tonight, they aim to get their Champions League career back on track against that city's residents, Galatasaray. Alonso, Gerrard to Jermaine, Pennant, and Pennant punts it at Mondragon. Zenden crosses it in first time, looking for Crouch. Risa linking up with Bellamy, caught by Mondragon. Risa, Zenden. And still below Zenden, seeking out Peter Crouch. Liverpool take the lead on the first of many hopeful European nights of magic in the Red Cauldron. The breakthrough finally comes good on the determination of Bolo Zenden. But it's the end product of arguably the most dangerous man in the air, Peter Crouch. Zenden has found himself into a goal-scoring opportunity. Oh, and it whistles past Mondragon. First corner of the second half. Arda Turan slams on the brakes, whips in a crafty cross towards Shakhtar, but it's Akman who surprises Reina at the near post. Luis Garcia commands a give and go. Shot blocked is Gerrard. Ha ha ha. Galatasaray never an easy team to play, but Liverpool can brag that they've taken the 3 points. PSV Eindhoven, the champions of Holland, welcome Girondins de Bordeaux back to the Champions League for the first time since 1999. Mikud surveys his surroundings. He's found Menegazzo! An instantly delightful start for the visitors Bordeaux. Menegazzo lines up with the goal mesh just over 3 minutes of the first half. A rude awakening for the champions of the Netherlands, PSV Eindhoven. The cross sent up into the atmosphere, knocked down by Farfan, and Koku slips on the volley. Kone, Mondes, here's Afellay, tries to pass it into the goal, and Afellay misses on the follow-up. Faubert goes backwards to Mikud, and here's Wendell on the overhead kick. Here's Simons. Does enough to get space for a cross. It's Koku who takes it on the chest. A gallant volley and a magnificent save from Gomez. Kone finds the crossbar and Kluivert screws up the follow-up. At the turn of the millennium, Valencia landed in 2 Champions League finals back-to-back, coming up short. And speaking of coming up, this young and hungry, talented Shakhtar Donetsk side. Joaquin has glided past Rat. On the right flank, sends the cross in, and it's David Villa at the far post, connecting with the post. Bouncing off the woodwork violently. Lewandowski's corner. Defended until Matazalem hits it on an ambitious volley. Carried forward by Elano. Matazalem takes the chance, and this time his shot is successfully converted. Shakhtar's Brazilian revolution combines in Elano linking up with Matazalem. Wheeler's free kick, brilliant save. Elano with a chip over the wall. And it's fell into the path of Matazalem, who has his brace. Out of the 2 teams synonymous with the colour orange, it's the visitors who are preceding the team colours. It's Marica who brings it down to nothing but confusion from the Valencia defenders. Baraka. Now Morientes skies it. A shameful end product. Miguel down the line to Fernando Morientes. Lobs in across towards Ruben Baraka, and we have a game on our hands now as Baraka fires it downwards into the bottom corner. like a javelin into the dirt of the forehead of Ruben Baraka. Roberto Ayala up the line to Morientes, and it's a careless pass given away to Fernandinho. Brandao has lofted it into the pass of Marika. Shakhtar Donetsk are digging a deep hole and filling it with goals at the Mestalla. Excellent playmaking from the traditional striker Brandao. Fernandinho, Matizalem, Brandao, back to Fernandinho. 3 seemingly meaningless minutes left on the clock for Valencia. As Morientes has laid it off to Villa. Fires a shot that spins off of the underside of the crossbar, bounces over the goal line and uppercuts the goal net. An exciting finish and a potential dramatic climax to the game here at the Mestalla. A 5-goal thriller, of which Shakhtar Donetsk walks away with the winnings. The revival of the Roman-Greek War will take place in the Colosseum of the Stadio Olimpico, a venue of which will host the Champions League final in 2 years' time. In the meantime, Roma will host their Mediterranean rivals, Olympiacos. And that cross misses everyone wildly. Well, Leao will keep on the pressure, is sent into Constantinou. A misfortunate miscalculation on the header. Mancini, Pizarro, Perotta appears in the middle. And additionally, a goal appears on the scoreboard. It's an opening goal from World Cup winner Simone Perotta. It's a training ground routine of a goal. Roma coming forward just before the break. Here is De Rossi. It's played into Francesco Totti. It's still Totti. Oh, he's fired a direct hit at Nicopolidis. Saved by a glove made of granite. Djordjevic runs onto this through pass. It's Djordjevic. Djordjevic across the face of goal. Oh my God. Corner to Roma. That's glanced away. And now De Rossi. Sloppy volley, follows it up on another attempt. That floats away from the Greek goalie. Djordjevic skies another sitter. Trademark free kick from Rivaldo coming up, but it's a great save from his countryman Donny. It's crossed in by Djordjevic. Rivaldo hits the woodwork for the second time for Olympiacos. But it's Roma who benefit from the lone goal. It's been a long time since the most successful team in the Champions League participated in the final. The 9-time champions, the Galacticos, Real Madrid, host Dynamo Kiev. Shakhtar keeps going. Tries to buy a ticket at the near post against Casillas. Raul being pushed out further wide. Lays it off to Beckham for a pinpoint perfect cross. On Pinocchio's nose of Robinho. The smallest man in a white shirt with the largest of headers. On the right side of the turf. Vintage David Beckham cross. Oh, he's throwing a clever pass over the top to Shakhtar. Right on the button of Iker Casillas' gloves. Diego Rincon over the top. A stabbing volley from Shakhtar, followed by a splendid save from San Iker. Raul triangulates it to Van Nistelrooy, and here is Beckham, who literally bends it like Beckham. Roberto Carlos with the trademark run. Stinging the palms of Shavkovsky, who tips it over. Here is David Beckham. Guti puts it on the plate to Van Nistelrooy, who skims. David Beckham with the corner. It's a golazo from Gonzalo Higuain. Real Madrid finally grab a comfortable cushion to sit upon. An evening at the Bernabeu crowned by a Brazilian and an Argentinian on the score sheet. It's Real Madrid 2, Dynamo Kiev 0. They have long established themselves as the kings of Lyon, but can never quite acquire the title of the Kings of Europe. Olympic Lyonnais host Romania's best Steaua Bucharest in the nostalgic Stade Gerland. It's not quite the trademark free kick from Juninho. Sidney Govou sent Fred well on his way for a 1-on-1, but the result is 0. It's to Lalonde. Juninho with a wonderfully weighted first-time pass to Florent Malouda. Blocked by the keeper, and he's brought down in the process. Eric Abidal. Now Malouda, crossing opportunity. It's Govou, who gets enough ping on it from distance to trouble the keeper. Bostinha has eyes for Badia, who's going around in a gigantic circle. He comes extraordinarily close with a strike out of nowhere. Malouda, holding up the play for dear life, hits Florent Malouda, gathers some space for a cross. Bounces all over the place like a pinball machine. Down the line to Govou, sent in the cross to Benzema, who also clips the crossbar. Malouda gets it back from Benzema. Fred's head ricochets off the defence, and Govou gets the breakthrough. Lyon break a frustrating deadlock against Steaua Bucharest. Just over 10 minutes are left on the clock. There is Nicolita. Bostinha! Agonizingly close. Lyon had to work very hard for those 3 points. In the intimidating theatre of dreams, Copenhagen has a dream to walk away with something productive from the Premier League runners-up, the Red Devils, Manchester United. The 2 times champions of Europe, seeking their 3rd 1 year before they would for real in Moscow. Here's Scholes, breaking away all by himself, but it's a comfortable save from Christensen. Here's Ryan Giggs, swarms one in towards Zaha. First corner of the game is given to Copenhagen. Lindelof collects on the edge of the area and gives the Red Devils a scare. Zaha. Rooney, who finally returns it to the Frenchman, Louis Zaha. A brilliant finish from the former Fulham Frenchman. He flew well away from that Copenhagen defence whilst all their eyes are on Wayne Rooney. Neville. Ronaldo. Scholes! Parried away by Christensen. Last chance of the first half is Ronaldo in the middle, but he's sandwiched between 2 blue shirts. Zaha across the face of goal. Scholes keeps it alive to Giggs. Sent in the cross, and Zaha only goes and bags himself a brace and puts Manchester United far in front before the half-time break. A Sir Alex Ferguson lesson in never giving up. Those loose balls, Giggs squeezes in the cross. Here is Wayne Rooney. Curls it around the defence and is tipped aside. Ronaldo down the line to Zaha. He meets up with Rooney in the middle, and he's flicked it beyond Christensen for a 3rd. It's the young man who made one of the most iconic debuts in this competition, the hat-trick on his Manchester United start. Here is Scholes demonstrating that micro-athleticism, and he's brought down. The torment was a success. Penalty to Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo has missed, failing to add his name to the ringleaders of goal scorers. Rooney is breaking away, a second is in sight, and he fires wide too. A comfortable 3-0 thrashing allows for 3 points for Manchester United. 2 clubs steeped in history, it's Celtic versus Benfica in a quest to join Manchester United at the top of the table on match day 1. Nakamura swings in across, and it's a good save from Quim. Shinsuke Nakamura, his free kick results in the opening goal from Kenny Miller. Positive start from Celtic. A brilliant delivery from the Japanese Beckham. Mikli to Shamal. Oh, Shamal is going on a run here. Blows a kiss towards the goal post and it rewards him with a deflection into the goal net. It's Shamal Sabrosa, Portugal's permed-haired playmaker, has issued a challenge to the Glaswegians. Kenny Miller dashing away from Anderson Kleber, but he's given in. He flew into him in a Latin rage. Quim with the save. Redemption for Benfica. Here's Nuno Gomez. Lays it through to Mikli. Benfica have the lead against Celtic. They are a long way away from the home of sunny Lisbon, but tonight they're bringing the heat to Glasgow. Time is wearing thin for the hoops. It's a cross into Venable of Hesling. With a martial arts kick, volleys Celtic back level with Benfica. We could be in store for a thrilling climax. It's pinged forward by Lennon and Venable has done it. He has glanced it over the head of Quim. Seemingly from out of nowhere. It's the man with the longest name in the Champions League, Jan Venable of Hesling. An incredible brace. There is a 1-2 pass on the cards and it's into the stands. The Scots join Sir Alex Ferguson at the top of the table. As last season's runners-up in the Champions League, Arsenal were touching the silverware from a distance. And when you come that close, you're eager to get right back into the race and do it again. But first, there's the business of getting off to a positive start against Germany's third place attendees, Hamburg. Kolo Touré has uncharacteristically mistimed the interception and Sanogo is denied by the stubborn studs of Jens Lehmann. Rafael van der Vaart, Jaralim has sent Mardevikia on his way. It's a double save. The second especially inadvertent. Eboué down the line to Van Persie. Here is Cesc Fabregas. Oh, that is a perfect pass. He would expect none less from Cesc. Disappointing finish from Thierry Henry. Henry on to Haleb. Swatted aside by Drobny. Alexander Haleb slamming on the brakes. He finds Thierry Henry. Lays it off towards Rosecki. And it's Van Persie who taps in the rebound. Dressing room relief on 45 minutes. Robin Van Persie. There is a kind of pressure on being the successor to Dennis Bergkamp. Something tells me Robin will do just fine. The cross comes into the head of Thierry Henry, but it's a point-blank save from Drobny. On the crown of Sanogo. Saved by the lap of Lehmann. Sanogo! And now Boubacar Sanogo, who has troubled that Arsenal defence all evening. He leads an Ivorian insurrection at the Emirates. Not much his countrymen can do about stopping this on the goal line. Van der Vaart goes the long way around and thankfully Lehmann catches that bullet of a strike. Here's Theo Walcott. It's time to see what all the fuss is about with him. Gets in a delicate cross to Thierry Henry. It's another well-scouted block. 3 minutes to go. Is Adebayor? Oh, he squeezes it in. Hamburg are frozen in disbelief, and I think it may be Bastian Reinhardt who the goal is credited to. Well, it was far from the champagne football Arsenal usually demonstrates, but it's 3 points nonetheless for the runners-up of last season. The Mourinho revolution seems like such a long time ago at Porto now. In reality, it's only 3 years since the Champions League fairy tale in Gelsenkirchen. Tonight, it's champion versus champion. The domestic title holders of Portugal and Russia collide in the dragon's belly of the Dragão in Porto. With Ricardo Quaresma being given a gentlemanly amount of space. And Akinfeyev's flap may have made all the difference in that cross, failing. Whipped in by Rahimic and Vanyalev on the overhead kick. Stoppage time of the first half. One last chance for Porto, but it's fell in the lap of Helder Postiga. And the former champions of Europe have taken the lead over the champions of Russia. Lucho Gonzalez giving the blessings to Quaresma. Fired across the face of his target. Carvalho leaving the Porto players with no place to go. He's run away from them but took too long to pull the trigger on Helton. Holden in, seeking out Carvalho. And it's the last chance for CSKA. It's a poor one. Only one goal between them sees Porto join Arsenal at the top of the table. The champions of 2003, the humiliated losers of 2005, the mighty Milan, lead us in our return to the land of Lombardy in another expectant Champions League campaign kicked off against the champions of Belgium, Anderlecht. Here is Cafu down the line to Filippo Inzaghi. Meets up with Kaká in the centre. Kaká sneaking down the line. The spillage from the keeper gets soaked up by Alberto Gilardino. AC Milan have their goal. Just over half an hour played at the San Siro. And after a frustrating start to the game, Milan finally find their way. Inzaghi has leapfrogged the defender. It's a spillage towards Gilardino for more of the same with the first. Holds it up and the final strike is wayward. Seedorf bullies Bucifer off the ball. Kaká sets him up. Oh, that was narrow. Here is Kaká. Ricardo Oliveira. Oliveira has threaded it through and it's all over now as Kaká pulls the trigger and the world goes black for Anderlecht. Milan's legendary playmaker in the making, Kaká, goes from provider to goal scorer in the dying embers of the game. AC Milan march to a perfect start at the San Siro. The new era of Lille continues as they host AEK Athens in Lens, a stadium more suited for the standard of European nights in Champions League football. AEK Athens take the place of Panathinaikos alongside Olympiacos as Greece's representatives. Bodmer regains possession. Here is Michel Bastos. Bastos is pushed aside by Sorrentino. No foul, says the referee, as Moras is wiped out. Bodmer, Moras sends in the cross to Julio Cesar! And just as Milan did in their game, AEK Athens have taken the lead on the cusp of half-time. Laid off to Tafarel, and it's Carter Keita, who nods it downwards to the post. Keita to Odemwingie. Last roll of the dice for Lille, and it's a miss. And the Greeks have claimed 3 points in the final game of match day 1. The champions Barcelona top Group A with Chelsea and Bremen tied in second place. Bayern Munich and Spartak Moscow are beating Group B, Liverpool and Bordeaux. Top the charts of Group C, while Group D stands for Shakhtar Donetsk. Real Madrid and Lyon are cruising through Group E. Manchester United and Celtic enjoy the top spot of Group F. Arsenal and Porto grind to the top of Group G. And finally, AC Milan and AEK Athens are in charge of Group H. Your top goal scorers of match day 1 are a very volatile bunch as usual, with Ronaldinho, Miroslav Klose, Mark van Bommel, Mati Zalem and finally Louis Zaha, all on 2 goals apiece. And finally, that wraps up match day 1 of the Champions League 2006-2007 campaign. The routine around here is that we ask you to list your favourite player, favourite goal and favourite match